Now here we see what is meant by identical functions. Alright, two functions f and g are said to be identical if their domains are same, their ranges are same, and f of x equal to g of x for every x in their domain. So it is not just the expression of f and g which needs to be identical, but basically for two functions to be called as identical, their domains should be same, that is domain of f should be same as domain of g, then their ranges also should be same, and for every value of x in their common domain, the value of f of x must be same as value of g of x. Only then we call those two functions as identical functions. Now let us solve one simple example based on this so that we understand this concept. Find the values of x for which the function f of x given by x and the function g of x given by 1 upon x are identical. Now here nothing is mentioned about the domain and range, so let us assume that we are talking about the real numbers as the reference set. Now if we consider the first function f, right, so f is given by f of x equal to x. So if we talk about the real numbers in general, so from real to real, we know that f of x equal to x is basically an identity function. So for every value which is real number, its corresponding image in f exists. Alright, so this is about f of x. Now if we consider g of x, this is given by 1 upon x. We may think that this is equal to nothing but x only, because the x which is in the denominator of denominator goes up in the numerator and makes it x, and that makes it similar to the function f of x. But we have to carefully remember that we can take this x to the numerator only if that x is not equal to 0, because if x is 0, then basically this particular denominator itself will be meaningless. Okay, so that means this function g will exist only when the first set does not contain the value 0. So therefore x cannot take the value as 0 in the first set, because if it takes, then it has no image in the function g. Alright, so therefore we must keep the value of 0 in the domain of g. Okay, so if we want the two functions to be identical, then their domains must be same. Alright, now here for f, the domain allowed in general is real numbers, but for g the domain is real numbers except the value 0. So therefore the common of these two is nothing but the set of real numbers minus the value 0. So therefore x must belong to this particular set of values if we want f and g to be identical. So that is the answer of the question, that x must have any real value except 0 for f and g to be identical.